I was watching Why Learn's video yesterday, the video entitled, "You Wake Up in 2009, Everything Was a Dream, Would You Be Happy?" And it got me thinking, because a couple days before, he created a post where he asked this same question, but then also added, would you feel relief or regret, happy or sad, and why? And my response was, I'd be 9, so there's not much I could do. Now, if I was my full age now, 25, that's where it gets interesting, because financially, I would jump on Bitcoin the moment it becomes a start. Then I would fix some issues in my personal life, both socially and family-wise, depending on if my past self is there. Because I didn't understand what the context of the question he was asking, because it's a very sort of broad question. And then I also finished it up with, if I just take my knowledge and I'm back at 9, then I just tweak some things in the same idea. Best way I can describe it without it being like a sort of essay. And then him actually posting the video itself and watching it, it got me to think even more about this, because it's weird, because at 9 years old, there's not much I could do. And at 9 years old, I unfortunately was not on the Call of Duty bandwagon. I wouldn't be on the Call of Duty bandwagon for another 2 years. It was mostly Pokemon, not even Minecraft, the more I think about it. It was really just Pokemon. At the time, I was still a Nintendo child, in a sense. So, it's a kind of hard question to really, truly answer and dive into, because there's pros of going back in time, relive old memories, or rather experiences, relive some of the times where there were iPods, iPod Nanos, the internet wasn't widespread, because there is a sort of nostalgia that even I feel for the 2000s, because, at least to me, I don't know if I'm crazy, but when I look at videos from 2000, everybody's kind of wearing the same clothes that we do now. Obviously, the fashion is different, but the clothes are still similar enough, which, yeah, Captain Obvious here, but still, it just feels like things haven't changed. But the one thing that you do notice is that there's not a lot of people on their phones, because really, phones and everything, or cellular phones, wouldn't be a thing until like 2011, 2012, where people would literally walk around with them out watching. They did exist, it's just nobody was like, texting and going around on their phones like glued to them. I hope that's making some sense. Watch some footage from the 2000s, even up to the later 2000s, and you'll see what I mean of people just walking around. So there is a sort of nostalgia for me on wanting to go back. But like I said, it's 2009 if we're going off of Why Learn's video. I didn't really feel... I don't really feel nearly as strongly as 2009 as I was thinking initially. But I guess another pro that we could throw into the mix is the childlike innocence that I had, or that really anybody has, because there's a lot of people that, miss the days where they didn't have to worry nearly as much. And, there's some good childhood memories that they have. Maybe they, get to relive times with a friend before they parted ways, so to speak. So there is a lot of good feelings that come to that, being a kid, because, when you're a kid, like I said, you don't have to worry about certain things. And then even just reliving old trends that, again, and stoke that sort of old, friendly, happy memories from the past. And there are also cons with going in the past. Like, if talking about Wyland's video, because he does talk about a point in the video where, there are consequences to going back in time. And there is. Because if you did, certain events would probably be different. Regardless of, even if you down to the minute detail repeated things, it's still going to be different. Because your memories would influence those decisions, whether you realized it or not. I'm getting a little technical here, but there is cons of going back in time. For example, for me, I'd be 9 years old. I couldn't do shit, literally. Like, if I talked the way I did at 9 years old, I wouldn't have that respect. I literally would have to put up the next 9 years until I turned 18, still being a kid. And it's one of the things I like about being an adult, is that, there is some respect. Obviously, my age still holds me back from getting respect in other ways, but that's a subject for another time. But there is cons to it. You maybe miss relationships with people you would have met because of circumstances in life that put you to that point. And, fixing a mistake in the past might, again, have a domino effect or a butterfly effect, literally, where it causes a chain reaction and changes things differently. You might not even meet your spouse or a girlfriend that you knew, or a friend even. You know, or, I mean, they could go a huge rabbit hole with this idea, too. And ultimately, I will just leave it at there, the pros and cons. And I guess it segues into, would I go back? Well, not really. I mean, I would like to have, like, a machine or a device to go and relive these memories like I was watching a movie or a video. I wouldn't want to change them. I just want, like, to go back and see them and experience, like, in those moments. But then still have, like, an anchor point to come back here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go back and change certain things. I mean, there are some things I would, but really, I wouldn't want to change things because, funny enough, I might be one of the very few people on this planet that feels this way, but I like being an adult more than I like being a kid. I know that sounds weird despite, you know, the responsibilities of an adult or everything else. I didn't really have the best childhood, or rather, I didn't have a lot of friends as time went on. Like, if I went before elementary school, and even elementary school, I probably, you know, I had a decent amount of friends, but once middle school and high school hit, I really started losing friends, and it got worse and worse, and now I have, let's just say, to make it simple, I have no desire to ever go to a high school reunion. I would rather just leave these people in the past. But I would still like to relive those moments in life, as I said earlier. But for the most part, I like being an adult, and I don't want to go back and be a kid again because I would be much more limited on what I could do. And I'd hate it. I really would. Because for me personally, a lot of things had to happen a certain way to make me the man I am today. And if I go back in time and try to fix or change that, it would most likely damage and completely change me as a person to now. Because there are some things I'd like to tweak a bit, but overall, there's nothing like major I would change. I mean, even thinking about it now, the one thing I do wish is I got to say goodbye to my great-grandfather, but I know the circumstances that prevented me, and I couldn't really change that. Like, there's certain things in life in the past that I know I couldn't change because I was limited by my age. So, I wouldn't really go back in time, just to kind of tie it in all together. I do like being an adult more than I like being a kid, because I have a lot more freedom. And not only that, I have a lot more knowledge, experience, and wisdom because of that. So, if I were to be given Y Learns button, and maybe even restructure my response initially on his post is, I'd like to go back and relive those moments in life as if I was watching a video, but for the most part, I don't want to go back and change things, because I feel like it would turn me into a completely different person, and you know, in a sense, I do like the kind of person I am now, mostly, but that's all about self-improvement and everything, which is a whole other topic for another time. So, anyway, that's all I really have to say about this video. Just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on Y Learn's video and how much, you know, kind of spoke to me in a sense yesterday, actually seeing him talk about it and break down other people's performances. So, anyway, feel free to give a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I upload. We are on the road to 150 subscribers, and as I take a look at my channel right now, we are at 115. So, goal's 150 subscribers by the end of the month. We're about to hit that halfway point, but I have no doubt that we will reach that goal by the end of the month. So, anyway, have yourselves a good Thursday, and I will see you Saturday.